This is the best watch winder and watch box on Amazon. My fiance recently got this for me because I was just storing all my watches on my bedside dresser, and I'm starting to get more into automatic watches, and I needed something to continuously wind my watches so I don't have to keep setting the time every time I pick them up. So this is the one she picked up for me, and it has been absolutely awesome. I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in picking up this specific box from Amazon. We'll start with the watch winder. So the watch winder is located in the front at the bottom half of the box. To access the winder, just pull down on the front. The watches will automatically stop winding, and you can access your watches. There are two overhead lights, which can be switched on or off, and add a really nice glow and presentation to the whole thing. There are two slots for winding, and it's really easy to interchange or take out the watches. So you're gonna pull out the module, you're gonna undo the bracelet, take it off the module, and you're ready to go. These holders are super well made. They have a spring in them to adjust automatically to the size of the bracelet, and all around the holders are these nice strips of padded leather. So it's gonna keep your watch safe and not scratch or dent anything. To put the watch back on is really simple. You're just gonna slide it over the holder, get the dial nice and centered, and then clasp the bracelet in the back. If you're wondering what this weird watch is, this is actually a custom build that I made using a laser engraver. But it does use an automatic Seiko movement, so this watch winder is really helpful for keeping this thing powered up at all times. Once you have the watch in the holder, it's really simple. You're just gonna place it back into its slot, and as soon as you close the door, it's gonna start winding. I'm not sure if this is even picking up on the microphone, but this thing is almost completely silent. We actually keep this thing on the dresser right next to our bed, and you really can't hear it moving unless you really pay attention. So it's really quiet, and again, it's really easy to turn on or off the light depending on what you want to do with it. The one thing that I was confused about, and I think a lot of people are confused about when they get this, is that the watch winders are on intervals, meaning that they'll wind for a few minutes, and then they'll stop for a few minutes, and then they'll keep winding again. But it doesn't just run continuously forever. This is basically a power and motor saving feature, but it's also just because your watch doesn't need to be continuously wound 24/7. So you can see right there, it automatically stopped, and in a few minutes, it's gonna pick back up again. From here, let's look at the top of the watch box where we have a lot of slots for extra storage. Again, we have this really nice glass case where you can see all your watches, but they're all gonna be protected. The box itself is covered in this really nice textured leather. I don't know if it's real or not, but this thing is really high quality, and I think it's gonna be really durable and hold up pretty well over the years. To get into the top of the box, we have this little latch on the front, which actually does come with a key, which I think is pretty pointless because it's probably pretty easy to pick this thing, but it's kind of a fun little feature. So if it's unlocked, you can just press these two buttons and pop open the case. We'll get into my very weird watch collection in another video, but for now, let's just take a look at the box. So the top of the box has 8 slots to hold 8 different watches. Each slot has a little watch cushion to keep the watch in place and prevent it from moving around. The cushions themselves are okay. They're not quite as nice as the rest of the box and presentation, but they definitely do the job. They hold the watches nice and tight and give it this really clean presentation when they're all together. Similar to the watch winder, you just have to slide the watch over the cushion, clasp up the bracelet, and you're good to go. So in total, this watch box is gonna hold 10 watches. It's gonna hold 8 up top, and then you're gonna have 2 down in the automatic watch winder. I've had this thing for about a month now, and it's honestly been such a game changer, just having my watches clean and organized, and then obviously keeping my automatic watches wound at all times. I do wish it had more than 2 slots because I do have a couple other automatic watches that need winding, but this definitely does the trick for a small collection. Again, I'll leave a link down below if you're interested in picking this box up from Amazon, but I would absolutely recommend this thing if you have a growing collection of watches that you want to be able to display in a nice case, and you also have a few automatic watches that need continuous winding. That's it for today. Do me a favor and drop a like on this video. Definitely subscribe if you're into watch related content, and I'll see you next video.